We are currently on a French ring training field. 10 years ago, I was introduced to French ring when my newlywed husband brought home this sophisticated looking, strangely well mannered dog who only understood French. I believe his name was Fuego or something like that. In the community of dog sports, French ring is elite. It's like sending your dog for training at Harvard. It takes years of dedication from and practice from the handler and the dog to be champions on a French ring field. As the wife of a club training director and successful president of North American Ring Association, I've learned to appreciate the sense of camaraderie that is associated with this sport. French ring is like dog training at its best. It keeps competitors motivated to reach their utmost potential of themselves and of their dogs. According to an article published by the Journal of Social History titled Four Legged Pougois, the French have been training dogs to perform complex exercises since times of war. War dogs were trained to do search and rescue, transportation, detection, and to deliver messages through the battlefields without becoming distracted by their surroundings. To preserve the rich history of French style dog training, the SCC, which is the equivalent to the AKC in France, or the AKC here in the United States, have set guidelines to ensure that French ring is practiced universally the same in countries like Canada, Spain, Mexico, and the US. Okay, so French ring consists of three exercises, which are obedience, protection work, and agility. So, what I mean by that is there's three categories. The number of exercises and the level of difficulty depend on the level of competition. So, the higher you get, the harder these exercises get for the handler and the dog. And whenever a dog is on the field competing in French ring, they are without a leash, without a collar, and they must be obedient off of one verbal command. Body signals are not allowed by its handler, and the precision by which the dog is judged is very strict. The dog must be in excellent physical shape and have a desire to work. So once the team is ready, the dog and the handler, their first test is the CSAU. And the CSAU is a certificate of sociability and aptitude for work. What they call that in French is brevet. Once the team has this, they are cleared to work in any level of French ring. And an example, let me give you an example of obedience exercises. And this is obedience exercises are done from a distance of 18 meters. And all the commands are given in French. The dog must change position in any random order that has been drawn prior to the exercises. In total, there are 9 obedience exercises, which are a long stay, a thrown and retrieve, a seen and retrieve, and a send away. And my favorite is the food refusal, where they actually try to give the dog food and the dog must refuse, or just like, no, thank you, I don't want that. The agility or the jumping portion are for those competing in all levels of ring, and they all must jump over the 3 jumps, which include the hurdle, the long jump, and the palisade. And the palisade, this is the hurdle. The palisade is a wooden wall that reaches 2.3 meters, and the dog must jump twice. He must jump away from its handler and return to its handler without any command. The most vital part, or the most fun part that everybody likes, the French ring, is the protection work, which is also known as bite work. The protection work of ring takes years of specialized training on behalf of the handler, the dog, and especially the decoy. And the decoy is the person wearing the protective bodysuit that fills the role of the aggressor. There are 7 protection exercises, which include the defensive handler, attack with a revolver, search and escort, and the crowd favorite, the guard of objects. The handler is asked to place a basket inside a marked circle and then commands the dog to guard it. With the handler out of sight, the decoy comes in and tries to steal the basket. The dog latches onto the decoy, but once the decoy starts to move back, the dog must remember, no, I'm not supposed to be biting. I'm supposed to be guarding this basket. So they must let go and then guard the basket without any verbal command. It's quite fun to see. The degree of involvement and time and financial cost to participate in this sport is huge. Longtime competitor Tiffany Dam replies, there is something very challenging about this sport involving another living, thinking creature that you just don't get from any other sport that keeps you wanting to return and do more. The AKC states that competitors are motivated by their emotional bonds and the development that they get through training and discipline, and enhances their human to animal connection. French ring style dog training has been well preserved and continues to attract dog owners throughout the years. It takes extensive amount of time and cost and dedication from all involved, raising the question, why do people do it? Well, competitor John Garcia says his bond with his dog and his natural ability to compete keeps all the hard work a small price to pay. I hope you enjoyed that.